Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are here for the first time, this is Koyeta. Hello, I'm Koyeta. I work with beautypreneurs and service providers who are ready to make additional streams of income. You are burnt out, you are disillusioned, tired of where you are right now, and you're just looking to make new streams of income. You're looking to branch out and see what else is out there for you. You're not burning your business down because I will not recommend that. You're branching out. Okay, so today I wanted to talk to you about making room for your new season. I know a lot of you are thinking about what's next. I think a combination of what's going on in society, you got the economy, you got trumping, you got, lifing, you have different things happening, and it's causing, and your business is also happening, right? And I know a lot of you in your business are looking at and saying, okay, I would like to move on to something else. Not that I'm trying to close my business, just move on to see what else is out there for me and add additional streams of income. And that's where I come in. And so in order to prepare for your new season, you're going to have to do a few things, right? Because we don't want to operate in the hustle space, and we're not trying to start over because that's not where it's at. So what we're trying to do is editing the version of success that we've outgrown so you can finally do and implement and input what feels right in this season. So it's all about creating a structure that matches the life you want so that things can get lighter. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for lightness. We're looking for things that make sense for where we are right now. And we have to go ahead and put the structures in place for that. So for this live, I'm going to operate on 3 core principles of change and preparation. So we're going to look at removing, we're going to look at adding, and we're going to look at, there's 3 of them. Where are they? I have my notes ready. We're going to look at removing, we're going to look at adding, and we're going to look at doing. So what we need to remove, what we need to add, and what we need to do. So let's start with remove, right? So the 3 things you have to do. Number 1 is remove the invisible weight that you've normalized. Remove the invisible weight that you've normalized. So what that means is that you're likely have things going on in your business that no longer serves you. There are systems in place. There are things that you're doing that no longer are good for where you are now and for what you're trying to do. So we have outdated systems. We have old offers. And we have patterns that are quietly stealing your time as well. So you have to remove any one of those things. And when we're thinking removing, we're thinking about removing that legacy service that no longer serves you, right? That you no longer love, it no longer serves you, no longer serves your clients, it no longer serves where you're trying to go. And think about client habits. Remove client habits that you let slide. We all know that one person that's late, right? And I'm guilty of this sometimes. It's constantly late and you're having to rebook or kind of move things around just to accommodate them. We all know that. And I also want you to remove the guilt around saying no. The guilt around saying no. Like, I know a lot of us feel bad. I know a lot of you feel bad about saying no. And that used to be me. And I'm better at it now. Some days are better than others, but for the most part, we really have to remove those 3 things that are a part of your old life, are a part of your old season, and it's not going to be a good fit for where you are trying to go, for what you're trying to do, for what you're trying to build, and for who you're trying to become. So let's remove those things, and let's talk about why you remove that. Because if you clear this weight, right? If you're clearing this weight, it actually makes space for better boundaries and more peaceful days. More days that are in flow with what you want and in alignment with where you're going and what you want for yourself. So that's why we need to, number 1, remove the invisible weight that you've normalized. So let's talk about number 2. We're going to add, right? We're going to add. And what we're going to do is add a structure that matches your vision. Add a structure that matches your vision, because what we're moving into is not going to be about doing more. It's going to be about being clearer, right? It's going to be about doing things that are clear, doing things that make sense for what you're trying to do and for who you're trying to be, right? So when we're thinking about adding, let's think about things like this. Maybe adding a dedicated CEO morning, even if it's a part of the day, half a day, once a week, add a dedicated day where you are in CEO mode, okay? And number 2, think about a pre-service process that saves you energy, right? Pre-service process that saves you energy. Sometimes the way we are doing things is outdated and archaic. And what's going to create order for you is to add in something, right? So you're taking clients, whatever business you're in, maybe add a welcome guide or an intake form, something that screens your clients so it saves you some time. I know when I'm working with clients, I advise them to add that in there because it's going to help save you some time and qualify your clients even sooner, right? Sometimes you take all the clients just because, they inquired or, they're interested, and that's great, but they are oftentimes not qualified. And the point of everything is to qualify your lead, qualify the right person. So it saves you time, it saves you energy, and you get to the bag faster. Okay? You get to the bag faster. And the other thing you want to think about adding is a building routine, right? Like batching, like automation, like scheduling. So something that cuts down on your time and makes your business feel better. And it matters because, this is how you're actually going to build a business. This is really how you begin to build your business that actually feels good and fun. And that's something that gives you back your time, something that gives you back energy, something that gives you, good ROI, right? So we touched on number 1, what to remove. Number 2, what to add. And number 3, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. Okay, so for the do, you're going to revisit the way you define support. Revisit the way you define support, right? Because you doing it alone is not going to work. It's not going to work. And I know, like, when you're in your business, sometimes you feel like you're the only one that can do it and you're the only one that can do it well. I understand that. But if you're trying to build something small, okay. But if you're trying to build something that can, be legacy and outlast you, you're going to need some help. And if you keep being the only person, you're going to become a resistance to yourself, right? It's going to feel like a resistance because you're not always going to have the energy. And if everything is solely dependent on you, you got to be up and you got to get at it every single day, right? So here's what we're going to do. 3 things. We're going to reassign one task to a tool. So either a tool, a team member, or a template, right? Again, putting things in place to help you make business easier, make business smoother, make business more peaceful. So that's number 1. Number 2, what we're going to do is create a what I no longer carry list. And that's the things you're no longer carrying by yourself, the things you're no longer doing. That's the things that you no longer want to be a part of, right? So create that list, because when you find yourself going back into that space, you can look at your list and say, okay, I said I was not going to be doing that. Let me stick to my guns. Sometimes what happens is we don't stick to our own words. We don't stick to our own boundaries and principles that we set for ourselves. And we end up causing ourselves, being a detriment to ourselves. So you have to stick to your what I no longer carry list. Okay. And number 3, I want you to ask yourself this: what would support look like if I didn't have to earn it by being exhausted, right? If I didn't earn it by being tired, by being, sometimes resentful. Yeah, you can have a business and be resentful. Yeah, you can be making money and being resentful. Yeah, all those things could be in place and you still don't feel good, right? And it all could be a part of how you're carrying your business. And it could also be a part of the fact that, girl, that ain't your season no more. We're in a new season. New season, new day. Okay? So why does this matter? It's because we want to ensure that you grow in a new space that feels safe and you're supported. When you're trying to transition into this space, you want to feel safe. You want to feel supported. I know that good things come out of discomfort, and that is very true. Because I have to tell you guys, I've been uncomfortable for the past probably 4 or 5 years. I'm so uncomfortable. But at the same time, I'm still creating spaces of comfort and support, right? Because the newness grows best there, right? Newness grows best there. So making room doesn't always have to be cutting. I know we're thinking, okay, something new. What do I have to cut? It doesn't always mean that you have to cut some things. Sometimes it's just choosing better things to carry. Sometimes it's choosing better ways to operate. Sometimes it's choosing better ways to manage. Sometimes it's choosing the right team, and sometimes it's choosing yourself, right? Sometimes, and prayer is all a part of that, okay? Okay, so that is where Build for More comes in, because I know a lot of you are in the middle of the edit, right? The clearing, the shifting, and asking yourself different questions. And Build for More is exactly where you need to be if that's the space you're in. So we're going to look at 5 different areas where we're going to audit, and you're going to come down to that one particular thing where you then get to build out with me on a 30-minute Zoom call, right? Sometimes part of what you need to do when you are transitioning into a new space or when you want to move into something new is number one, slow down to assess where you are at right now. That's assessing all areas and see what is benefiting you and what is not benefiting you. And within that process, you're going to find some things. You're going to find some space where you can actually, where it could actually open up and allow you to make more money. And you're going to find some spaces that are going to bridge some gap for you to your next, right? Sometimes it's not about, as I said, breaking it down, cutting it down, burning it up. It's just moving into the new and creating the groundwork, the structure for something that feels better for you. And so that's Build for More. Build for More. So the Build for More audit is open. It's open. All you have to do is click the link in the bio and get to me, and I will click the link in the bio, and then you are able to download the workbook, and then you are able to then schedule your Zoom session with me so we can go through that together. This is really important. If you've ever said to yourself, man, if I don't get up, I don't make money. That's important. If you've ever said to yourself, I can't stop, doing the business by myself because who gonna make that money? If you've ever said to yourself, I am tired, I want to slow down, I want to try something else, but I'm not sure how to do it. I feel a little tired, I feel a little drained, and I know there's more out there for me. How do I get there? How do I find that? How do I formulate that? That's where Build for More comes in. So I want you, again, click the link in the bio. It's open, it's official, we're here. And get that so you can take time with yourself to allow you to get to the next level. Okay, so it is and was wonderful to be here. All right, and we're going to do this again. I'm going to try to pop on again next week because I'm just kind of getting myself back into the habit of going live. But as I said, link in bio. You can always DM me as well if you have any questions, and I will be sure to answer those for you. So take care, y'all. Have a good day. Bye.